Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to... No, wait, that's not it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool arcade repair video for you this evening. So today I have a Area 51 Site 4 in the cool dedicated cabinet. Cabinet looks like it's in pretty good shape. I actually bought this at an auction a while back. Alright, I'm back. Our buddy Frank and his dad came in, so I talked to him for a little bit. But anyway, I got this at an auction. And the cabinet is in pretty good shape. One thing about an auction, sometimes you get a good deal and sometimes you don't. So I bought it at an auction and I was thinking, it was broke. But then, after I bought it, dun dun dun, somebody has took the monitor chassis, and I'm missing part of the game board actually. This is a Area 51 Site 4, so it's actually kind of complicated. It actually had almost like a decased computer in here. It's missing the top board and the hard drive and the monitor chassis. And these actually had a kind of expensive power supply that goes right here. They put in a little cheapo here at some point. But I'm just going to try to put a regular one back in, more of a box style power supply, because that's where the on-off switch is. But yeah, if somebody else would have bought this, they would have been pretty pissed off, I think. But luckily, I've had these two Area 51 Site 4 boards just laying there for about 5 years. I don't remember what was wrong with them. Well, actually, I do remember. They're broke. So anyway, I'm gonna try to piece something together with those, and I got a few pieces there still. And I've had a few of these before, and they usually have a Neotech monitor in them. And I think I've got a few Neotech monitors laying around in my hoard somewhere. I'm going to try to piece something together here. That's what we do. And I got these monitors the other day in a storage unit deal I bought. These are all 27s. That's a 27. That's a 27. And that one's actually a 25. But it's a Pentranic monitor. They're not really the greatest. But worst case, I can probably get one of those going or try to cram in a 27-inch. But there you have it. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look around and try to find a Neotech. Well, I guess I'm going to have to look in the manual to see what kind of Neotech it had in there. And then see if I can find one here somewhere. We're not very organized. I got stuff laying everywhere. But anyway, I'll get back to you. Hopefully I can find one. So I found the manual, and it doesn't really say much about the monitor other than that part number there. But if you Google that, it brings you to this on our forum that we're a member of. And that basically tells us that it's a Neotech 2515 standard resolution monitor. So now I got to go try to track one of those down. I thought I found it. But this is a 27E, which may work, but that's the 27-inch version, and it's medium resolution. So I'm gonna put that right back where I found it. Now I got this one, but I'm pretty sure that says 27E too. But it's got the little brackets that I'm gonna need, which I thought I was gonna have to make something out of wood or something with those, but at least I can steal the brackets off that one and use it. So then I go over here, I keep digging. This is a 2701. That would have been a nice one because it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Then I find this one. And I think I determined, I don't really even know what model number that one is. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a 27 also. Yep, that's a 27. And then I find this one, the last one. 2515, which is exactly what I need. But it looks like it's pretty broke. And I'm missing it looks like it's missing several things. And look, somebody's already been working on it. When you're that deep into it and that chip is bad, stay away. That's something you do as a last resort after you change all the capacitors and the flyback and it still ain't working. Well, maybe it's the chip. Then you go through all the trouble and you put the chip in there and then it don't fix it. So then you take that chip back out. So that one must be a problem child, so I gotta keep looking.
All right, folks, we had some people come by and give us some stuff. Joey was here, I wasn't here. So Joe's going to tell you all about it. What have we here, Joe?
This is some kind of...
Now, who did this come from?
This came from Billy.
Billy, all right.
Billy came in, and he was moving.
Yeah.
He had to downsize, so he had to get rid of some stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he was nice enough to bring it here.
I like those type of people. Boy, Billy's a cool guy.
He didn't want to throw it out. He thought we could use it.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad he thought of us.
So this is a 19-inch monitor.
It's a
Looks
Wyco.
Kind of looks more like a Cortec monitor chassis, though. But
Yeah.
so
Oh, look at this. It's got the gold star tube in it.
that's the better one, you know, not the silver.
Wow.
You need the gold.
It's a SUM 200. Okay, I've never actually seen this actual frame setup that they're using on this one with the neck board protector and stuff, but pretty cool. All right, so that's the first thing that we got. What's next, Joe? That little monitor there?
He also gave me that 4800 13-inch monitor there.
We're still putting the stuff up. If I don't fall over. Yeah, so this is a 13-inch Wells Garner 4800 monitor. These are usually in little cocktail cabinets and stuff. And sometimes we need these. We've actually got a Centipede without a monitor. So that could be the monitor to go right in it, Joe. Pretty cool. We also got this monitor. He brought us 3 monitors. So this is out of like a Tato. You can tell by the frame. And this is just the chassis. Looks like for the K7000, Joe?
Yeah.
So just the frame and the tube and the yoke for a Wells Garner K7000. But kind of the interesting thing on that is that mount there. You need that if you're going to put it in a Tato cabinet like Zookeeper or something like that. All right, he also brought us some Kubert side art. That's pretty cool. And then also the bezel, like the sticker that goes on the bezel.
Yep.
It's like a take a regular piece of plexiglass or glass and put the sticker on it. He brought us all kinds of cool art. So this is a Centipede overlay, but it's the Willis artwork, which is really cool. The Centipede, there was a company named Willis that made reproduction art back in the day. And it was all a little different than the original stuff. So some of it's really ugly, but some of it's really cool. And the Centipede Willis overlay is like, you could argue looks better than the original Atari.
A lot of people like the Willis one better
Yeah.
than Centipede.
Yeah. So they brought us that.
Also a really nice Centipede marquee.
Original Centipede marquee, which is glass.
It's in real good shape.
Silk screened. Glass. Very cool. So that's original. That would be off an original Centipede. If Joe doesn't break it. Don't break it, Joe. Don't do it.
Then I haven't opened this. Well, I guess I could open it.
More artwork. He did it right. So a Data East. These are kind of generic CPOs that would be in the kits sometimes. So if you had a game like RoboCop that was going to be a kit, you might get a overlay like that with it that you put in your cabinet. If you're converting a game into another one. Robotron 2084. That's a copy of the original dedicated artwork. Pretty cool.
I think that might be it. Nope. Cubert.
Oh, okay. And the Cubert, that's not the marquee. That goes beneath the control panel on Cubert. There's a special place there where this piece of art goes. So it looks really cool. That's pretty cool. So he brought us all kinds of stuff. Well, thank you, Billy. We appreciate it. Was there more stuff?
There's one more box here.
One more box here. Okay, so that's the K7000 monitor out of that frame.
Yep.
The one back there that was in the Tato, that would have been the chassis that's in it. Cool.
And then that's universal.
Like a universal replacement chassis, which is newer, so that's probably within the last 10 years or so. Very cool. Well, thank you, Billy. Now we have something. Now we can use all this stuff, and we'll find if we get a Cubert, we got all the art for it, and a Robotron, and all of that. Yep. So then after Billy came in,
I was thinking, boy, that sure was nice of Billy to bring me all this nice stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
It wasn't 10 minutes. Somebody else came by. Tommy.
Uh-huh.
I think he was on his way to Ohio or coming back from Ohio.
Uh-huh.
And he said he had to stop in here. He had some stuff for us.
Oh, wow.
So,
boy, there people are delivering us stuff. How nice. There's some nice people in the arcade industry. The arcade hobby, I should say.
So he brought me this, which is a Crazy Bowl.
Crazy Bowl.
Similar to Capcom Bowling, but better. It's Crazy Bowl.
Yeah, it's crazy with a K. Uh-huh. You're hearing it in the background because there were two of them, and we plugged one of them up and it's working.
And this is a Capcom Bowling.
This is like one of the best, or well, the biggest selling kits ever. They came out with this sucker, and you could put it in anything, and operators did.
And I don't think I've ever seen a broke Capcom Bowling.
That's true. Hey, look at the little. This is cool. So what they did here was somebody put a little jumper to make the video ground connected to the logic ground. Depending on how your cabinet's wired, you got to do that. Okay, this is the famous pack with the speed up chip, probably, maybe.
Yep.
Or is that no? That's Miss Pac-Man. It's got the Miss Pac-Man character ROMs.
Look, somebody's done changed that socket.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So a Miss Pac-Man board, same as a Pac-Man board.
This is all from Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy. Oh, wow. So that is a Bally 6803 power supply for stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. We actually had one of these that caught on fire one time. Looks like this one has caught on fire as well, but not as bad as that other one. Mm-hmm. So that's very fixable, very rebuildable. Yeah, 6803 pinball power supply. Bally's, that was their pinball machines in kind of the mid to late 80s. Maybe 85 up to 88 or something like that. It's a Bally pinball power supply. That's for some of the games, the newer ones, the newer System 35 ones, which would have been up to about 1985.
It may be for a baby Pac-Man or a Granny and the Gators.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm.
So you bought a new one.
Bought a new one and gave us the old one. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Tommy, for thinking of it. We can use those. It's very rebuildable. That will probably work as well on any of the pinball machines like Fireball Classic or whatever that use that board in the bottom instead of the one in the back box. That's the third or fourth revision of the power supply.
I can get it back in the bag.
It's tight.
Bag's broke.
I'm gonna file it away in my cabinet. I've got a whole cabinet full of pinball boards. All right, that is a Midway. What's it say on the corner? Down at the bottom there on the left.
Power supply for a DNA CC system.
DNA CC system. Well, it's the medium power supply. That looks like that's more of like the mid '80s arcade game stuff. So that's like it's similar to like the MCR stuff, like Tron and stuff like that. But it's not for Tron, but it's something similar. That's another one just like it.
Yep.
Medium power supply. Mm-hmm.
I found a problem.
What's wrong with it?
It's broke.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Same old as usual. Good. How y'all doing? All right.
And the best thing Tommy gave me,
Okay.
in my opinion anyway.
In his opinion, anyway.
Look how beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And we've actually got a kick cocktail in storage we're going to be bringing in.
Yeah, so we need these, actually.
Listen. Can't even hardly hear it.
Kick, you just move to the left and to the right. You don't have to go up and down.
So smooth.
And we have a cocktail
Like butter.
that we're going to be fixing up. Joey's fascinated. So, very cool.
That's nice.
All right. Well, thank you, Tommy. We really appreciate it. We will put these to good use, and we'll make sure that they're saved and they don't end up in the landfill. What do you think, Joe?
Yep, we'll save them and use them. Definitely.
All right.
Well, I searched high and low. Low and high. Left and right. Up and down. And I just couldn't find a 25C 15. So, I got to thinking. And I measured those yoke wires. And it measures real similar to a 7400. And I've got 7400s laying everywhere. And then I looked and I found this plate, which is a 7400 plate. And that's going to lay in there like that once I screw it in. Then I'm going to rebuild a 7400, put it in there, and hopefully that tube's good. So that's what I'm doing now. I found a 7400 that I like. So I'm going to cap that and see if we can do anything with that. Alright, so I got my monitor rebuilt and put in there. And it's actually working, surprisingly. And then I found a hard drive in my storage area. It said it was good in 2018. And I misspoke earlier. Apparently this is the complete board set. It was just missing the top part that holds the hard drive. So I hooked that up, and then I found out my 5 volt was actually low, so I cranked that up to 5.2, and it looks like I'm getting something on the screen. It's rolling because whoever was messing with this before, they broke the ground and the sync wire. So I gotta if I don't fry everything, I gotta reattach these here, and hopefully I'll get something on the monitor. So let's do that. Alright, I got updates. I swapped that connector This is how they had it. They had it all messed up. Um, Normally it should be red, green, blue, ground, and both of these are sync wires. But they didn't have nothing in the ground, and that's why my picture was all messed up. So I got that fixed. And looking pretty good. Still got to work on my guns a little bit. Neither one of the guns are working, but they're really nice. And I swapped my gun connector here, and I got one of them to work. So we'll keep messing with that. A lot of times those guns, they'll come unplugged inside of the gun because people are too rough with them, dropping them and stuff. So we're going to do that and see if we can get that to work. I'm not really sure how this happens, but this always seems to happen. Remember when I said the connector comes loose inside? So that's going to be the problem with that gun. And this gun was unplugged on the inside. Seems to be working good. On every Area 51 we get, I don't know why this always happens, but they never put the start buttons how they're supposed to be. See how that one's yellow and that one's blue? And now look, when I shoot the screen, see that yellow dot? So you're probably thinking, well, you just got the guns reversed. Well, no, I don't, because look, see how that's yellow? This one over here is blue. And this is a weird cabinet. The only way to get to these is you got to take out this grill and take out the speaker. Is the only way you can get to those two buttons. So I'm gonna fix this gun and then I'm gonna swap these two buttons. Well, take out the speaker and swap the buttons. It may not seem like a big deal, but we like to have the right button on the right side. And these little things will nag you to death. You know, a little thing here is messed up. A little thing like these little coin switches, I gotta mess with that. It's missing the one on the right. Wiring's still there, but somebody stole the switch. Just these games will have, you know, tons of little tiny minor things that you gotta mess with. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do next. Well, I got the button swapped how I wanted. And I went ahead and changed the cherry switches while I was in there because it's a pain to get all that out. How much longer do you think that's going to work? I don't know. Might work another 10 years. It might work another 10 minutes. I don't know. But while I had it out, I went ahead and changed them. We always have to think about the next guy because we got to offer, you know, tech support after the fact. You know, if they call me up, I can't say, well, get out your Torx bits and take off your speaker grill and then take off the speaker and then reach in there and turn and twist and get in there and get that cherry switch out of there. And they're not going to know what the heck I'm talking about. What's a cherry switch? What's it look like? Can you mail me one? You know, it's all the same thing. So I just go ahead and change them. I still got to clean up my speaker a little bit. And I went ahead and spray bombed my speaker grill cover. And while I'm waiting on that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and clean all this mess here up. They had it all rigged up. There's no power switch. It's just straight wired into the wall. Originally it would have had a box style power supply here, and the on off switch would be right there. So I'm going to put it back that way. And it's a beefier power supply. This one here is a little, well, everything's Chinese anymore, but this is a Chinese, really bad Chinese. I really had to crank this one up to get it to even boot that board. So I'm going to redo all this wiring a little bit, get my power supply mounted over here, plug in my marquee light. I'll have to put another connector on here. And I'm going to take this bracket off and slide this glass out. This is all one piece, and the marquee is just kind of hanging in there. And then I got to get the marquee working behind it. And I don't like how this plexiglass looks either. I'm just going to take that off there, and so I can clean behind it. And I usually just leave the plexiglass off. I think it looks a lot better without it. But anyway, that's what I'm doing next.
All right, folks, it's viewer mail time. Now, this is not really a viewer. This is a corporate sponsor. We got this from New Wave Toys. They contacted me and wanted to see if I wanted to try out this thing, because they know I like old school stuff. So if you want to send me something, that's our address. We're not soliciting things. We don't need anything. But people like to send people stuff sometimes. We get letters. You know, we usually try to show you everything that we get in. But we got this. I think maybe we'll make it where this is featured in this Aztec video, since Coca-Cola is so old school anyway, right? Yes, I'm trying to cut it open with a screwdriver. Look people. I don't want to hear no crap. Okay, I got it enough open, I think. I can probably get the top off. You know, this feels real, like, solid, though. They probably doubled. It's double boxed. I'm never going to be able to do it with one hand. So here is our sponsor for the the Williams Aztec. Let's see. Do not fork this side up. Fragile. They kind of made it like you're actually buying the vending machine. The box seems to mimic the vending machine box. That's how pinball machine boxes look. So like whenever you get big appliances, you know, big coin op stuff. Okay, so let me pull it out. Yeah, look how cool this is. So it's meant to be like the shipping box that the shipping crate that the full size drink machine would come in. Like, you know, obviously they can't read this, and it doesn't really matter which side's up on this, but you know, because that's inside the box. But pretty cool. So it is a New Wave vending replica vending machine mini fridge. Now, usually we get contacted by people all the time wanting us to do videos on stuff, and we don't really do it very often because it doesn't have anything to do with our channel usually, you know. So we have saved you from so many ads and videos that you wouldn't believe. Now the ads you get that YouTube just adds in that are for medication and stuff, I have nothing to do with that, right? Anyway, the gentleman contacted us about that, and I was like, that'd be kind of cool. So they were out of this regular Coke one, and they had the new Coke one. But I kind of like this one, so it took a little while to get here, but I think they were having more of them made. So it says Coca-Cola replica vending machine, mini fridge, replica distributor, mini refrigerator. Yeah, that's right. I can read French. Yeah. So anyway, it's a copy of the old school Coke machines that you see everywhere, or you used to see everywhere. I guess they're not as common anymore. Very cool. Let me pull it out of the box. Features: replica Coca-Cola classic vending machine in 1/6 scale. Two 12-ounce can capacity mini fridge. Authentic reproduction, constructed with only quality materials. Magnetically sealed, illuminated door with integrated prop mini can storage and hopper. Functional mini coin mech, credit and drink selection push buttons. Replica dollar acceptor, non-functional. Error correct art and advertising slogan, you can't beat the feeling. 3-way power switch, it's UL certified, and it's official official licensed product. Comes with a warranty. Very cool. I'll tell you, the boxing is nice. If you're a Coca-Cola person. See, I don't drink liquor. I drink these soft drinks. There it is. Look at it in all of its glory. Very cool. Let me get it out of there. Well, it's pretty cool. I got to tell you, it's kind of heavy, which is cool. I don't know how many of you heathens have ever tried to pick up a Coke machine. We had somebody give us a full-size Coke machine once, and we didn't really want it, but we got it with some arcade games. So we put it out behind our shop and plugged it in and sold it on Craigslist to somebody. We just had it sitting on the sidewalk acting like it was like supposed to be there, and nobody noticed. So it's kind of heavy, and it has rubber feet, so it doesn't move very easily, which kind of gives the illusion that it's a real drink machine. And look, they've made the door hinges just like, or similar at least, to how the real one is. That's pretty cool. If you're not familiar with this New Wave Vending company, they do, well, I don't know if it's New Wave Vending. I think they may call themselves New Wave Toys. Let me see. Was it New Wave Toys? Let me see. Yeah, New Wave Toys. I wanted to make sure I got that right. They've done a lot of reproduction arcade games like this, so that are smaller ones. So I think there is a magnet. Yeah. So there's a magnet, some kind of magnet that holds it shut. That's pretty cool. New Wave Vending. So I believe this is actually a functioning mini fridge, but it also will dispense little tiny Coke cans that are to scale. So the detail's pretty cool. I've probably told this story before, but I remember one time whenever I was a kid, I was at my mom was at Kmart. She was at Kmart, and I wanted to get a drink out of the drink machine. So I went up the sidewalk at the mall, the strip mall that this Kmart was at. And so I go up and around the corner and then up. And this place is still down on South Boulevard. I know right where it was. And there was an Eckerd's drugstore there. And so out in front of the Eckerd's was a Coke machine, or I think it was Coke machine. And so they're sitting out front. And so, you know, whenever you're a kid, a lot of times you just press the button without putting any money in it. So I can't remember if I put money in it or if I just pressed the button, but I pressed the button and drinks started coming out over and over, and it just kept going. Now I've worked on all kinds of stuff like this. I'm not really sure how that happened, but I've talked with my brother just to make sure that I'm not tripping and just made this up in my head. No, it actually happened. So they started coming out, and I'm standing there trying to get all the drinks out. I mean, we're up to like 9 of them, right? And so I send Donnie, and he goes and gets a shopping cart. He comes back, and we start filling up the shopping cart with it. And this thing is just going, go, 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 go. You pull it out, and then it's, go, 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 go. You pull another one out over and over again. So we must have emptied one of the entire things inside, but we ended up getting like 30 or 35 drinks out of it. So anyway, I always think about that every time I mess with one of these. This one's so real, it reminds me of that. Okay, so let's see if we can put it together and plug it up. Okay, so they sent me some miniature dollars and some miniature quarters here. pretty cool, people. All right, so we'll see if we can put some money in it. I can't quite. My hand's too big. Let's see here. They gave you these tweezers just for this. Maybe I can pick one of them up with some tweezers or something. I dropped it on the floor. Well, I can't quite, if I just hit the button twice, it thinks there's a credit on it. Okay, so you don't have to put the little quarters in it. But from what I understand, they do work. Okay, so which one do we want? Let's see here. Do we want Coca-Cola or Coke? Or we could get... I know we'll get Coca-Cola. That was the Hitchcock shot there for you. That's right, folks. It comes complete with the cans. What a cool little toy. It took my money. Oh, it's in there somewhere. See, this is when you start shaking the machine. Give me my money, and then they come out and they kick you out. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see if it's all jammed up. Oh, there it is. I got it. All right, so then you write to the vendor, and you get your 50 cents back. All right, so I got to say, that's a pretty cool toy. And also, you're not going to be able to tell, but it's getting cold in there. Oh, it's freezing. There's a little mat, I guess that's what that is, and there's a shelf so you can put two Coca-Colas in here. Now, people, you don't necessarily have to put Coke in there. You can put other beverages, anything you wanted to keep refrigerated. So there you go. So that's really cool. So thank you, New Wave Toys. I think I will put a link down below. If you folks would like one of these yourself, you can go buy one. They're pretty sweet. They have a bunch of other stuff too, so check them out. I like that they're making pretty quality stuff. Now, long term, I don't know. Maybe long term it's not quality, but I've never heard anything bad about them, and I've been hearing about them for a while. So I kind of wanted to get one of them to check it out. So I was excited to get this one. Who knows what they'll have next? Maybe have they done a change machine? That would be really cool, like a little miniature change machine. I think it'd be cool. But yeah, check the link down below. Maybe you can get one of these for yourself, or check out their other items. New Wave Vending, New Wave Toys. Quality product.
All right, I got it all finished up. Got my speaker grill back on. Yellow button. Blue button. See how the little bullets are yellow? The bullets over here are blue. It cleaned up pretty good. I thought this was going to be a basket case. I was pretty disappointed whenever I got it at the auction and then I noticed all the stuff was gone. But I got really lucky. The board actually worked. I had a hard drive in the back. You can see where I had it marked as working in 2018. And I cleaned up the wiring a lot for the power supply over here. Now we have an on-off switch. And I actually had the screws. Can you believe it? I found screws that would fit in there and hold the power supply in. I had that monitor laying in the floor. I picked it up and actually was able to rebuild it, and it went with this tube just fine. It all kind of fell together there. Sometimes you get them and they'll cooperate with you, and then other times you get them and it's just a basket case. But this one actually went pretty smooth, so I'm pretty happy with my purchase now, actually. But it was quite a bit of work, but we got it all together. But we appreciate everybody that's been watching. And Amazon emailed me the other day. You're not going to believe what they said. They emailed and said if I can get a certain amount of people to use my Amazon link and buy a certain amount of money, they're going to give me a bonus this month. And I didn't even ask them. They just said if I hit this number, they're going to give me a bonus. So I've had people ask, well, how the heck do we use the Amazon link? And I don't know if Ronnie's ever showed you. So I'm going to show you right now. So all you have to do is go to one of our videos, and down underneath it, there's a description. And then you hit more. I guess I better zoom in for you. You hit more. And then all you got to do is click this link. This is our USA Amazon link. Click that. And it'll take you to a pinball. And now, anything that you buy on Amazon after that, it'll give us a tip. You don't have to buy the pinball. You don't have to buy anything that you weren't already going to buy. You can buy cat food, dog food, lawnmower parts, whatever you want to buy. And since you clicked that link before you ordered whatever you're going to order, it's going to give us a tip. And it's good for like, I think a couple hours or something. But basically, anytime you buy anything on Amazon, if you use that link beforehand underneath our video, it'll give us a tip. So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. And we want to thank everybody that's been ordering our t-shirts. We've been selling quite a bit of those. We still got some left if you want to get some. And that's Area 51. Here's kind of our few games in our showroom here. Space Invaders, Bad Dudes, Centipede, Rastan, Miss Pac-Man. We got a Thief, Choplifter. We just got this one in. This is kind of a weird one. Goofy Hoops. It uses a lot of the pinball boards from Capcom. And Python Angelo actually did all the artwork on it. We got a cool little Mega Touch here, stand-up Mega Touch. And now we have an Area 51. Site 4. But anyway, we appreciate everybody watching. Give us a thumbs up for filming it for you. And check out our brother's channel, my brother Donnie. He does stuff like farm equipment, old buildings, and all that type of stuff. Nothing to do with video games, but you might like some of his content. But anyway, we appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.